Good evening. My guest tonight runs the capital city of Accra, if you like, a city that is growing increasingly and is estimated to have a population in the region of about 4 million people, the size of some countries. Tonight we'll be talking to him about his plans for the city, some of the challenges, and how we can transform this city into a developed city. N.A Blankson, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for receiving me.
Mayor, you are known for having tried to take hawkers off the streets. So you took the hawkers off and they are back. So, why?
That's not the end of the exercise. What we're trying to do is, what we have done is we've gone back to the drawing board. We've studied the whole scenario, and we are coming back again. We're coming back, and we're coming back in a more sanitized situation. But before we do that, you know, David, there had been this call for the AMA to at least to have decided to relocate these hawkers before the exercise was carried out. Well, it was...
The politicians didn't allow you to do it?
I wouldn't want to mention...
You don't want to put it like that?
The whole thing boiled down to a question of trying to fix them somewhere.
But why did you try to move them if you had nowhere to put them in the first place?
Well, let us go to the genesis of this story. When I took over this job, I invited all of them. I invited the hawkers to what you would call a rally at the Ifwa Sutherland Park. And there I wrote about this idea of street hawking. I said AMA would want to regularize their participation in street hawking. I came out with a very laudable plan that, okay, we allow them to, we would arrange a place in Kweshi, that's the trade fair area, where they would move in on Mondays or any other day, and then on Tuesday we move them to say Ayawaso.
They don't like your plan, Mayor.
They didn't. They said yes. Everything went on well. We put things into action. We demarcated areas that they would occupy. I was even in touch with the police as to how to control them. 8 months later, when I had also made my plans to decongest certain areas of the city, we had our last meeting, our last but one meeting in my office. These chaps looked me in the eyes to say, sorry, we're not going to go.
Why? What has happened? What has gone wrong here?
Nothing went wrong. They came out that they were not going to go because they were used or are used to the areas that they do their hawking.
But is that acceptable? What are the laws? Yes.
So I said, okay, I have also planned to move you out of where you are. And so...
Will you do that?
I did it. We moved them out. That was the 8th February exercise. We moved them. Nobody got hurt. No one's merchandise was stolen.
It was done properly.
It was done properly.
And then now they are back.
And now they are back.
Now
so
they are back.
What we intend to do, and we've already started, is to build a hawkers market.
So when you build a hawkers market, they will go there and they will go off the streets.
That one, the skeptics, those who try to criticize us, will have no choice. Because we, AMA, would have provided them a market that can accommodate up to about 4,000 hawkers.
If they defied you, do you have the ability and the logistics to deal with it?
David, the bylaws are there. We in AMA have been delinquent. You know, we've just closed our eyes and have allowed the papers to gather dust. We are going to come out, at least to try to enforce portions of the bylaws.
Let's talk about Accra. Let's go to the bigger picture now. What is your vision for Accra? What do you think of Accra? Are you happy with the state of Accra?
I'm not happy at all. I'm not, honestly, if this exercise of decongestion had gone on, we would have been able to move other people out too. But it now looks as if we have to start all over.
But people must come, Mayor. I mean, all over the world, I mean, people from rural areas will migrate to a capital city.
They will still come.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
David, they will still come. They don't need a visa to enter this city. But they need to respect the bylaws of the AMA. If you want to do your business here, you don't need to go and squat and think by squatting and not even having a place to go to the loo. You'll be welcome. This is unacceptable. But then they are very young. Some may end up being very big businessmen and women. Some may drop out. But then at the end of the day, we must make maximum use of these children. So the hawkers market is now, as we talk, work has started.
On that?
Oh, yes.
But there will still be people on the streets after the market?
We are not going to allow it.
Fine.
After the market is put into...
If they are, what will you do?
Oh, they will go to court and answer charges there, as we did during the decongestion exercise.
Right.
I went to the Chief Justice and I told the Chief Justice that this is the exercise we're trying to carry out.
I mean, that's another thing, Mayor. These, if you like, high-profile, one-off major cleaning exercises, why do you bother with them? I mean, are these not things that must be going on regularly? It must just be institutionalized. Why does it matter that one day there's a cleanup?
Well, let us be very honest with ourselves. The city of Accra is now inundated with more people than we expect to have. People think it's nearing the 4 million mark, but I have a gone feeling that it's gone beyond the 4 million, because there are people around you who have no fixed addresses.
Yes.
What do you do to these people? You know, so you plan to do something and then you get overwhelmed.
But that's the point I'm making.
But the point, so now where we want to move out to is after we're going to carry out another exercise of cleanup exercise, this time we want an awareness to be created, not only by AAMA. We even I've had a chat with the Chief of Defense Staff. The military will be involved, the police will be involved, customs, fire service, civil servants, TUC, all churches.
But you see,
now, by having all these people involved in this exercise that we're going to carry out, at least some of them will end up being watchers. People litter and no one cares. You litter, they say, oh, AMA will come to lift it. So these are some of the things that we are trying to. So between now and the end of the month, into the second month of the year, we're going to sort of educate the public. We're going to use TV, other stations to let them know. But my fear here also is those you want to talk to there, they don't have access to TVs. You see them only watching television when there is a football match. Then they congregate around a repairer's shop.
Put your message in the football match.
We will do. We will do.
You know, in a sense, I just want us to go back a bit. When I was a little boy, it was quite clear. The drains, you had the tankers, you had people come, they come and there was none of this business. You don't need to mobilize people and bring the church. There is a metropolitan authority. It has their bylaws. Just enforce them. It's all mixed up. Why is that?
Yeah, you know what, David? Discipline has gone to the dogs. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Absolutely.
Over the past years, this city, I'm only concerned with what is going on here. This city was overwhelmed with people thinking, we are all the same. Quote. Discipline was simply not there. It was survival of the fittest, whoever was stronger.
It still is.
Well, I wouldn't say, gradually it is petering off. Gradually, you see, when you put people into a cell and they remain there for a very long time, and then you come without even warning to these people, and you open them to have their freedom. David, you end up having a few of those people coming back to jail. Let's face it, we had a strong, a high-handed government for some time. So it cowed everybody down. Whether you like it or not, you will be disciplined.
Is that not a good idea? So maybe you do need a high-handed government.
To me, you don't need that. To me, you need to penetrate into the people. Let the people know that what you're doing is not good. But then you need a huge sum of money to pay to, say, GTV, Joy FM, all the newspapers. It's not going to be easy.
But the city, Mayor, you are the mayor of Accra. I mean, as there are countries with less than you are the president of a complete. But can you not raise your own money and metropolitan?
Well, David, the system may change, but as of now, AMA, it's about the size of 3 or 4 ministries.
Ministries combined.
Combined.
That's big.
Quite huge. We have a working population of over 3,000. Now, and that caused the creation of the extra sub-metros. But the sub-metros presently are not properly performing because logistics are quite low.
Resources. Where do you get your resources?
We get them from the central government.
Is that the
only AMA, if AMA, I'm not here to indict anybody, if AMA had been run in the manner that civilized people would want to lead the AMA would not have been in such a situation. There was a time AMA was meant for, was a buffer for workers to idle about when there was a demonstration or something somewhere, then they go and pick them out. We're trying to regularize those things, and it's not going to be easy because here are people who have been used to a certain style of work, and now this man has come there and he wants to chop things down, do this. If you don't do that, you'll be out. You're going to have a little bit of resistance, and I am prepared. I'm prepared for that. But then gradually we are coming to terms with things. Number one, we're going to set up a commercial department. AMA money shouldn't have been a problem. I've been saying this time and again.
Where will you get money from? Where do you think AMA should get money from?
For a start,
apart from government.
To start the whole thing, I think the central government may have to sort of inject some money, and then we will go down to the people. There are several thousands and thousands of houses that have not even been registered with AMA.
But this is known for years.
But this thing has been a malaise over the past.
All the time. People
come and sit and go out. So when they get somebody who is prepared to interfere, to nose around, why is this that? Then they say, too sabi.
But what about the houses that are there already, that you already have registered? There are some that argue that some of the rates in places where, like East Lagos, all mixed up, where you have people of a certain income, the rates are ridiculous, and that maybe you must review them.
That's going to be our main source of revenue.
What will be your main source of revenue?
Property rates. Now, as we talk now, AMA has on record about 63,000 properties. But then
that has been documented.
Last year, we forced them out to carry out some exercise. Even under very difficult conditions, they were able to capture 151,000, which is about 100 and something percent. And I know there are more there. Now, we've started with this house numbering and street naming. When that exercise is over, David, we hope to capture every property, every empty land. Yes.
When will this exercise be over?
It should be over by the end of this year.
So by the end of 2006?
By 2007, AMB must be laughing, because we must not be collecting less than 4 times what we are now receiving. But
and what will
the other avenue is there is a serious financial hemorrhage.
Why? What do you mean?
Financial
losses,
leakages.
Yeah.
And 80% of this is the handiwork of some of our staff.
Leakages, you mean?
They go to collect this rates, and the rates don't get back to us. There are several cases that are before the police now.
Why? Why did they do that? You don't pay them.
David goes to pay his property rate 12 million. Let's say property rate or business operating permit. You pay 12 million. Your copy of the receipt will show 12 million.
All this
duplicate, triplicate, listen carefully, duplicate, triplicate, and quadruplicate will show 120,000. So that revenue collector is going to line his pocket with 11,880,000.
That really belongs to the AMA.
That should.
But Mayor,
and then out of this 120,000 that is recorded, that revenue collector gets paid out of it. Social security contribution.
He's taking 3/4 of your money, and then
already,
and then you are still in your pay.
So what we are planning, what I'm trying to inject into an ailing AMA is try as much as possible to privatize these things.
To privatize?
Privatize. I'll tell the company, hey, pay me so much. How you do your collections, I don't want to know.
So that's the minimum amount you just want?
We will send people there to sample the collection. In fact, I don't have to say this, but we have already started in some areas. We've got people there who are coming back to tell us that this lorry station, this market can fetch me, if you hand it over to me, I can pay you X amount of money. And the biggest, sometimes they come out with, I ask myself, why should this thing not have been done long ago? Number one, you put AMA at rest because it's not the business of government to do a business. Give it out to the contractors. They will just, at the end of each month, they come to pay you.
But that's almost, you know, I hear that, but in a sense, that's also quite, it's like giving up, isn't it? I mean, we really ought to be able, even with government, to have, using management, good management, looking at IT. I mean, you describe some of these things and you wonder, in this day of information technology, why are we, I mean, people are little receipts and manual things and they have a chance to do these things. Can we not do this better?
We are coming out with an improved data. We don't even have it.
Wow.
Let's be honest. AMA, we don't have it.
You see, but these are some of the things.
Yeah. Now, these things are all coming out, and they're going to come at the same time that this house numbering thing is being done. So I can sit in my office, press the key, and then know what a house in Nema, in a certain corner, that house should be paying X amount of money.
Plastic bags.
Plastic bags.
Plastic bags is like it's frightening. Very soon we shall be covered in plastic bags. I mean, and you've made a few attempts and you're trying to get people who produce it to contribute and they won't. I mean, how do you go forward there?
David, this area is a really serious one. We made attempts, we gave them a deadline, you don't do it, we're going to ban this thing. And you know, you are dealing with people who can scheme. Before you say jack, they move to a ministry and lobby. Then they tell you, oh, if these people are coming to pay you some amount of money. And I said, it's not that money I want. I want them to pay 17% of the field that is being created in the city, because they contribute 80%. In fact, the fields you see in the city, without plastic materials, it will be about 20-25%.
Let's say 80% of the field is plastic.
Plastics. And we started this exercise in earnest, but a lot of those who are in this business are doing this business from their backyard. And that is a difficulty. So if even you place a levy, you are only going to surcharge a handful of people. They don't know where the others are. Because there is this sachet water you buy. It's got David and Co. PO Box 1258. If you go into your to the post office, there will be no David and Co. There will be no box number of that. Even if there is that box number may belong to somebody else. So they are faceless people. We came out in a very harsh way, you know, to bring discipline into that system. And that thing, David, is still hanging. So I tell you, I haven't given up.
You haven't given up. So you're not frustrated?
Not yet.
You're not yet frustrated. But you can
see what I've tried to do when the hawkers started to come back to the street. I kept my cool because I'm supposed to put them into a market. That market is not ready. So I have been very quiet. They came back to me. They said, oh, Mayor, you've helped us to do a good job now. Some other hawkers have come. And so I called a meeting. They wrote letters to me, the leadership of the hawkers associations.
The hawkers have an association?
They have.
Why? Why do hawkers have an association?
I don't know. Well, I came to meet such things.
They have a group.
Don't forget, markets have their queen mothers, and those things are still there. By law, AMA should have a committee to run each market. But you see, the whole thing has been entrenched for a very long time. So if you come in within 2 years and you want to cut things down, definitely.
Yeah, I agree, sir.
But you need to go. You need to pace. You need to pace.
But how long have you been mayor now, sir?
20 months.
Okay, so you're little under 2 years. So is there anything that you think gradually is happening? You do think?
Oh yes. Number one, this honestly, before I came to the scene, you can be a witness. AMA was very hardly hit. You know, I came up. I said, look, the city is filthy. Let's all come on deck. And we did it, and it got up. I started to use this term, let's give it a human face, which has become very popular now. You do something, you don't want to hurt people. You skirt around them if you want to clean up the city. No, if you ask the boys to go and do it, and there are people around, what's going to happen? They deliberately hit them with their brooms.
But maybe, Mayor, the planners should take the people into consideration more. Sometimes you see, I mean, you take a look at the streets where, at like Tetekwashi, where there's construction taking place, there's absolutely nowhere for people. People are on one end of it in long queues with dust and everything. You have pedestrian crossings as people are speeding up to a road. I mean, even pedestrian crossings, some of them are in the wrong place. Are they not?
Sometimes we have to fight out with the urban roads because these things were done by urban roads.
Yeah. Do you work together?
We have to be working together. But then you have a situation whereby it is within their purview.
Yeah, you see,
they
that's
want
the
to
thing.
do it.
Yeah.
They do it after it is done. Then they hand it over to you to.
And then you go around the town painting buildings also and saying, remove this property.
Oh, that
thing is a joke.
That thing is a big joke. But we are trying to overhaul it. David, when I was young, when you were wiping your nose, when you were wiping your nose, we had about 30 building inspectors with a population less than 1 million.
That goes to show.
30 building inspectors.
Now, do you have...
Now, with a population passing through the 4 million mark, we have 13 building inspectors. 13, not 130. Now, so what I have done now, by the end of this month, we would have injected about 60 building inspectors. Now you talk of policing the area. When the AMA Metro Guards unit was formed, it was formed with an initial membership or population of 540.
And now?
That was so many years ago. In the year 2006, we have got about 125 Metro Guards. Out of these 125, I can sit here and write off half because they are old and...
May I must wrap up now. Are you comfortable that Accra is going to develop and have to befit the status of a capital city in the next few years?
Now, we are going to use 50 years anniversary of our independence.
Which is what?
That is my target.
2007.
2007. Okay. By March 2007,
we will see a difference.
You will see a tremendous difference.
I thank you for coming, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.